The Boring Company. The Boring Company debuted its first completed stretch of the underground tunnel on Deck 19, 2018, in Hawthorne, California. When the project was first proposed, Musk suggested that pods capable of carrying 16 passengers at once would shoot through the tunnel at speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. But the project that the Boring Company unveiled in December looked remarkably different. Instead of passenger pods, Tesla Model X's were equipped with tracking wheels, a guiding system similar to the way that vehicles are moved through a car wash. Like many of Elon Musk's most controversial ideas, the Boring Company began as a tweet. Musk was presumably sitting in a Los Angelean rush hour on Deck 18, 2016, when he wrote, "Traffic is driving me nuts. I'm going to build a tunnel boring machine and just start digging." If Musk were anyone but the $22.1 billion CEO of Tesla, "I am actually going to do this. It shall be called the Boring Company," Musk said in a series of tweets. But unlike his proposals to take Tesla private, build a media credibility website, or pilot a mini submarine in Thailand, ideas that were either hated, unsuccessful, or both, the Boring Company may just be Musk's most successful social media pitch to date. The Tesla CEO officially launched the Boring Company in January 2017, but not before returning to Twitter to coin a company slogan, "Boring, it's what we do." The Boring Company broke ground 1 month later in February 2017, while digging a test hole on the premises of SpaceX. The test date reportedly began on a Friday afternoon, when Musk said, "Let's get started today and see what's the biggest hole we can dig between now and Sunday afternoon," running 24 hours a day. At the end of that period, the Boring Company had managed to produce a hole measuring 30 feet wide, 50 feet long, and 15 feet deep. What does the Boring Company do? While Elon Musk has demonstrated concern over what happens on land and up in space, he also seems to be interested in what goes on underground. Just 2 years after its founding, the Boring Company is an infrastructure and tunnel construction company with contracts in Chicago, Los Angeles, and Hawthorne, California. The company's self-stated goal is to solve the problem of soul-destroying traffic by building a network of transportation corridors underground. How exactly are they going to do that? Musk has suggested that he has the technology and the means to increase tunneling speed and drop costs by a factor of 10 or more. For context, the most expensive tunneling projects can cost as much as $1 billion per mile in urban areas. What current projects is the Boring Company involved in? Elon Musk's tunneling venture, the Boring Company, is planning a massive citywide expansion of the currently modest underground transportation system it's building in Las Vegas. The startup now wants to build a 10-mile subsurface loop that serves the famous Las Vegas strip of casino hotels and reaches the city's downtown area, as well as McCarran International Airport, all with Tesla vehicles. The Boring Company also wants to build an additional loop that connects properties owned by Caesars Entertainment. The proposed new tunnels would make it possible to go from the Las Vegas Convention Center to Mandalay Bay in just 3 minutes as opposed to 30 minutes by surface roads during peak traffic hours, the company claims. The plans, first reported by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, were detailed in proposals submitted to Clark County officials on Monday. The Boring Company's expansion push comes just days after the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, LVCVA, finished buying the Las Vegas monorail, which filed for bankruptcy in September after shutting down in March. Following the acquisition, the LVCVA killed a non-compete agreement that had previously kept the Boring Company from digging any tunnels that served the same areas reached by the monorail. The monorail is not expected to reopen until at least May 2021. The Boring Company is still working on making its first underground people mover open to the public in Las Vegas, located underneath the convention center, which is owned by the LVCVA. While it was originally slated to open in January 2021 in time for the yearly Consumer Electronics Show, the trade show's shift to a virtual event, and the pandemic in general, has muddied those plans. LVCVA President and CEO Steve Hill told The Verge in May that they would likely wait until the next available trade show to open the so-called Convention Center Loop. On Tuesday, LVCVA Senior Vice President of Communications Lori Nelson Kraft confirmed that this is still the most likely plan, saying she's unsure at this time if we'll open up the system prior to the first large show we have inside our building. The Boring Company did not respond to a request for comment. The Boring Company plans to shuttle up to 4,000 passengers per hour through its tunnels using Tesla Model 3s, Model X's, and of tram Built on the Model 3 platform that can fit between 12 and 16 people, Hill told The Verge back in May, while the goal is for those cars to eventually operate autonomously, they will have drivers at the outset. Hill said that the people mover will evolve to following a conduit and sensors being laid in the tunnels before actually driving themselves. The LDCVA announced that first project with the Boring Company in 2019 and is paying Musk's startup $48.6 million to build the tunnels running under the convention center. Since it's meant to be an amenity for convention goers, Hill explained in May that he considered the full price tag of $52.5 million to be a sunk cost. Criticism on the Boring Company. A number of civil engineering experts and tunneling industry veterans have questioned whether Musk can render tunnels more quickly and cheaply than competitors. A tunneling industry publication, Tunneling Journal, has dismissed the company as a vanity project and inconsistent in its promised offerings. A much-hyped tunnel project constructed at a convention center in Las Vegas turned out to be a single-lane underground roadway, less than a mile long, driven by conventional Tesla automobiles, constructed at a total cost of $48 million. Musk's planned tunnels have also been criticized for lacking such safety features as emergency exit corridors, ventilation systems, or fire suppression. In addition, the tunnels themselves are projected to be only one lane wide, making it impossible for vehicles to pass one another in the event of collision, mechanical failure, or other traffic obstruction, and instead would shut the entire tunnel down. Critics have argued that the low capacity of the Boring Company's projects make them inefficient and less equitable than existing public transit solutions with only a fraction of the capacity of a conventional rapid transit subway. Musk has been criticized for his comments in 2017 disparaging public transit. James Moore, director of transportation engineering at the University of Southern California, said that there are cheaper ways to provide better transportation for large numbers of people, such as managing traffic with tolls. Public transit consultant Jarrett Walker called the Boring Company wildly hyped and criticized how the company dazzled city governments and investors with visions of an efficient subway where you never have to get out of your car. Turns out to be a paved road tunnel.